Files. I'm Brian.
And I'm Brad.
And this is the review for Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, a movie I've seen way too many times. And how many times have you seen, Brad?
I've seen once, and I've not seen the first one. But I kind of want to, after seeing this one, I kind of want to go back and watch it.
First one is good and worth it. Also, yeah, you've got it.
Yeah. What do you mean I got it?
It's on Movies Anywhere.
Oh, I got it. I understand. I have access to the movie.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I was confused. I was like, what do you mean I got it? I was like, did I get the entire plot of the first movie in the second movie?
I wasn't sure if I was going to just say that we share Movies Anywhere publicly, but whatever. It's not going to be as visually fascinating as this, obviously, since it's taking cues from Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
But what did you think about this one?
I thought it was interesting. I think the plot is really good, but I think the visuals was super interesting that they kept going back and forth between like a 3D and a 2D look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when like things were like action was happening, they'd go 3D. But then when they were kind of like when he was like doing the opening number, when he was jumping around, it was 3D, but when he was like stationary, it was 2D. So it was different. It took me a second to get used to the visual style, but it works. I think it works really well. I think the plot overall is pretty good, pretty solid, and yeah, I think overall it's a pretty good movie.
Are you fanboying over death like everybody? Oh wait, is it? I guess this is just gonna be spoilers. Should we do a spoiler free again?
Yeah.
What do you?
It doesn't.
Spoil.
Yeah.
It's already out on home video. I mean, I know it's still in theaters, but
yeah, there's access to it. Voodoo, Movies Anywhere, stuff like that.
The affiliate link in the description.
Yeah. So I thought it was super interesting. Not seeing the first one, but knowing his character from Shrek, where he came from, where the character originally came from. So I at least knew a little bit about him. It wasn't completely blindsided. But yeah, it was super interesting. Makes me want to go back and watch the first one. So it was good enough. It was good. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask which Shrek movies you've seen.
1, 2, and 3, I think.
All right.
I think
4 is definitely worth it.
I was going to say, I think I stopped probably at the wrong time, but...
I mean, 3 sucks. 3 is kind of the crystal skull of the Shrek franchise for everybody. 4 is Aliens. Hilarious. Yeah, Aliens was definitely the worst Alien movie. Is that what? Is that? Yep. I understood. Sure.
I was going with Crystal Skull when they just brought in random aliens for no reason.
Yes. And I think in the third one it was babies, just babies, bringing in babies, and too much. Don't stop with that. But the fourth one was funny. I think I heard that Puss in Boots was not in it, but it's been so long I couldn't confirm, and that one's not on the streaming service. What?
Mickey Indiana Jones.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I always thought it was kind of like the grasshopper in this movie.
Yeah.
I never knew that was Mickey.
I thought it was kind of cool that it took like fairy tales and kind of remixed them a little bit. It fit. It fit the movie pretty well, but I thought it was interesting that they took little fairy tales and just made minor tweaks to them enough to make it fit into this movie. But still withhold enough of the information that you knew exactly where it's coming from. Goldilocks and 3 Bears. I mean, not hidden in this movie. What's the one where the guy sticks I forgot which one that was.
Jack Horner.
Yeah, put his thumb in the pie, and then the cricket on the shoulder was kind of like Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah, that was the interesting one because I think on IMDb it's something like judging bug. Like they couldn't even go as far to say Jiminy.
They probably will be here in the next 10, 15 years, probably, because it'll probably be fair use.
The copyright stuff.
Yeah, but not yet. But Goldilocks and 3 Bears definitely is public domain, and then I'm sure the other fairy tales are too.
Yeah, Pinocchio's been public domain, obviously by the 3 films that's come out this year. this is the only Pinocchio one I've seen so far. Still gotta see the Guillermo one. But there was also, well, we have Death, but I don't know if that's actually pulled from a fairy tale. And what else?
I think that's kind of it. Goldilocks, the guy with the thumb, and the Jiminy Cricket, more or less. I think that was kind of like it for fairy tales.
The Baker's Dozen might be something, but no, yeah. So, yeah, what was your favorite part, I guess?
The opening scene, the opening musical was pretty funny. Just shows you how like his arrogance and everything like that. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought his dealings with death were pretty funny. We're always kind of on cue. What else? Yeah, I mean, I like when he finally gets to the ending, towards the ending, when he goes into the, like, sees all his past lives, and he's having a party with all of them at the same time. I thought that was pretty funny.
The Cave of Lost Souls or something like that.
Yeah, when he gets to see his other 8 lives.
Yeah, I loved how the opening sequence was basically just Puss in Boots propaganda.
Yeah,
like
he just make himself into a legend.
Yeah, he sings his own song to everybody. he after pandering to them, because like a stand-up comedian, like a bad stand-up comedian, where he didn't even know where they were from. He was like, "Oh, Del Mar," or whatever it was. It was Del Mar.
He said the wrong city, and then they corrected him. He's like, "Oh yeah, I knew that." It's like a rock and roll stage. You go up on stage, thank you, Detroit, and you're like, "No, we're Cincinnati." Sorry, that was last night.
Yeah, this is, I mean, from the hints, this is a town that needs some wealth redistribution based on the governor coming in saying, "Arrest the filthy peasants." But besides, I think, one chest of gold, he doesn't do anything. Yeah. He leaves them to get potentially arrested after setting off fireworks and waking up a giant and risking their life, or putting them at risk,
and having his wig stolen and chopped up, and
his
governor's wig.
He does like small stuff, like at the end stealing his boat, sure, but the governor's still in power on his way to vacation. Like, so stressful arresting all those filthy peasants. I must take a vacation. And then by the end of the movie, that was a great character arc. I don't know, I've seen it like 6 times by now.
Yeah,
good.
I've only seen it the once, but it was still good. I mean, it's something I'll end up rewatching.
So we're getting matching Perito tattoos, yeah? Yeah, probably.
A little dog in a little sock, a worn out sock.
That's a dog in a cat costume.
And he was so nice about it too. He was like, "Yeah, they used to put me in the sock and was it sand or something like that, and basically tried to kill him." And he was just like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Yeah, they put a rock and threw him into the river. Jokes on them. I got a good story and a sweater.
Everything is so happy. And then it comes up with a team named Team Friendship at the end, which is like, I never agreed to this. I couldn't imagine seeing that on a wanted poster.
I need a Shrek 5 from this team now. Specifically this team. But I'm trying to get you to lead because I've thought about it too much.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
It's a new shirt.
Yeah, it is. Smile.
Felt cute. Might delete later.
Yeah, overall, this is a fairly short movie. It's only 90 minutes, 96 minutes, something like that. So it's fairly short. But it's pretty action-packed all the way through. I like the scenes where he's getting chased by death, because I thought that kind of put like a clock on everything. I thought it was funny when he got adopted by the crazy cat lady,
Mama Luna.
Yeah, and she's like, "Health department, there are no cats here," and then like all around the door frame is cat paws, just like reached around. And then he grew a mustache.
I see you have a disguised dog in your background.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry.
It's a dog in a cat picture.
Yeah,
I was trying to flip the burrito.
Yeah, what is it? He becomes a geriatric cat.
Yeah, and he's got a sweet beard. And then he keeps it. He's like, makes me look distinguished. So I thought that whole scene, the whole bit was pretty funny. And then I assume the Kitty or whatever her name was in the last movie.
Yes.
I assume it kind of ends with him not going to the altar with her or whatever and running away. Because they made that kind of a point in this movie, or was that not shown in the first movie?
I think it's more those were events that happened between the movies.
Oh, okay.
So kind of like I don't remember, but the end is like, oh, there, just watch it.
Yeah.
They didn't say, hey, we're walking to our marriage now at the end of the movie. But it's also been like 10 years, so.
Okay.
Or between the release dates of the movies, so. I don't know how much they tried actually putting. I don't know what the time gap is between the movies.
Yeah. There's something else with that I was going to say too. I like the use of English and Spanish throughout the movie. And even if you have the subtitles on, the subtitles are just in Spanish. So it's not meant for you to know every word of this movie if you don't speak Spanish. But I like that it was bilingual through a lot of the movie.
I want to know what Perrito's name is in Spanish-speaking countries, because the fourth Pirates of the Caribbean movie named a mermaid character mermaid in Spanish. I think Celine or Selena. So, and I remember hearing people from like Mexico saying that in the theater they didn't change it. So in their language, it's just, her name is Mermaid. So I kind of am curious if they changed it to dog or doggo in the Spanish speaking countries. So it's not, I mean, I guess we all know that they're calling him dog, but just to make it a little more interesting.
Yeah, no, Perrito literally translates to dog.
Yeah. Because they've been calling him Perro and Perrito the whole time. So I'd be really curious if in like Spain or Mexico they have dog, get the L map. Whatever the actual.
Yeah.
Or if they still call him Perrito. I guess the easiest way would be to look up Spanish IMDb, and I'm going to do that right now.
While you do that, I like how they used foul language throughout this movie and then just beeped it out from them. Like the nicest, easygoing character is the one with like the worst language. And like when he's going back,
brains.
Yeah, he's going back and forth with the bears, and he gets like every other word beeped out. And then the bears are like, I like this guy. And then he turns into a pine cone.
All right, Spanish IMDb doesn't look for. Oh yeah, I loved that. I loved the cabin for the bears. Yeah, no, I'm not finding anything. It knows I'm in America or the U.S. That's the accurate way to say that. But like right before that, it said, what you're looking for is in front of you. But it happened so quickly, they hide the very obvious, like, stop looking for it. It's right next to you. It's your family.
Yeah. And it comes in, they walk into the Three Bears house. And then she does the whole bed thing. This one's too soft. This one's too hard. This one's too soft. This one's just right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What was it? It was Big Jack Horner with the cricket. He's just like, you're horrible. You're an unredeemable monster. Oh yeah, what took you so long, idiot?
Yeah, after they bring the bridge, he walks across the bridge. It's fine. He kills like 12 people or whatever it was.
bring over the carriage or whatever.
On this crickety bridge that clearly isn't going to work.
You're not chatty, are you?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a lot of funny parts, a lot of, I don't know, I think adult friendly parts of this movie, but I think it also would fly over most kids' heads. Some of it I don't think would, but I think a lot of it would. So I would say this is probably made for more like teenagers than little kids.
Yeah, I do like that it's a kids movie though, because it made me think a lot of Spirited, which had, I guess, a lot of the same lessons, but this is much more subtle. And Spirit is just like, here's the song. how do you become better? Do you need good friends and just be better. Just try. And this one, it's like, all right, well, we got Perito being a good friend. We get Kitty Softpaws giving him the blade. It's team friendship. Yeah. Tell me if you felt this way. After my first time, I was like, "Oh, that's cute. That was a cute story. It had a fun magic thing, but it wasn't very deep." And then as I kept going, I was like, "Oh, I don't know how to phrase this question. How was it after your first watch?"
I felt everything connected. I think everything wrapped up really nice. I think they leave some of the things in the beginning of the movie and then bring it back towards the end. Like the big guy. I mean, he was Jack Horner was mostly in the beginning part of the movie when you kind of find out about him and his backstory, and then there was kind of a big gap where he wasn't there, and all of a sudden he just busts in towards the end. He's not really a whole lot in the movie. I think he's got like one little quick thing where he's like packing his bags and stuff, but that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think everything wraps up towards the end. I think everything gets tied up nicely. I don't think there was any really big loose ends or obvious loose ends.
Nice. I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah, I mean it's only a 90-minute movie. I mean it's not overly complex. I don't think there's anything. I think you can get all the information you need in one watch if you wanted to. I don't think this is a movie you need to watch multiple times to understand everything. I think you can pretty much get this all at one go.
Yeah.
If you want to watch it 6 times, go for it. And only cry during 4 of them. That's fine.
Who am I? The people of Del Mar, and who are you? Another ginger Puss in Boots? By that I mean you're pandering to me, and I like it.
Yeah. So I mean, there's not a whole lot to really talk about this movie. I mean, I hope they make a sequel. I think the budget for this movie I think was like $90 million.
Really?
But I didn't see what the box office was.
They did release on home video quite quickly, and I see Puss in Boots: The Last Life. That's
Last Wish.
That's what the third one would be. Yeah, it was not. And
265 million. So I mean, it's successful enough.
That's weird. When I was searching it and it was like showing the answer before hitting enter, it said 90 million, and now it says 130 million.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the wiki.
Wait.
The wiki.
What? Oh no, I get it. No, Google's just being weird. It's showing pictures of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and it also shows Puss in Boots: The Last Wish having $90 million budget, but it's showing the budget for the first Puss in Boots. I don't know. And it says 100. I don't know. This is weird. Oh look, Puss in Boots budget for maybe the first one. Yeah, I don't know. It that would be really weird if it's $40 million cheaper.
Yeah, it'd be strange, especially with the art style that this one goes for. I figure that would be more graphically intense and more CG work that they would need to do.
But the last one had Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
This still has Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, that wouldn't justify an extra 40 million. Or no offense to Zachy over there. You're worth 40 million. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah. It also has Florence Pugh. She's Goldilocks. Olivia Colman from what was the movie I saw? The Favorite. Yeah, she's Mama Bear. Mama Bear actually became one of my favorites after a while because Mama Bear is just unconditional love.
Yeah, I liked Papa Bear and his one eye. And I like the baby bear because he was the smash, she was the grab.
Yeah.
So they had a nice relationship.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's some bigger name people in this movie. A lot of musical people. I'm just kind of going through the cast list and stuff here. There's a lot of people from musical backgrounds.
I guess before we wrap up, what did you think of Wagner Moura's performance as the wolf? 'Cause, if you had said to me like they're death and they're a big wolf, I wouldn't have thought, oh, there's the hat, and I'm doing a horrible, but everyone, like the boots. I would not have got. That's just not what I would have. I'd be like, okay. Oh, look at the, would have gone gravelly or.
Yeah, but he is a wolf and he's the physical embodiment of death. I mean, I think I like the whistling tune that he had that kind of followed him. And every time Puss in Boots heard it, he freaked out and his hair would start to raise and everything. So, I mean, I think they did a really good job mixing him in there and making it a part of it. And I think his voice acting for the movie was fine. I have no problems with it. I mean, I don't think it was bad by any means. He could have went maybe a little bit more gravelly, but I mean, I think this.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying like that's the wrong. It was the wrong choice. It was just an unexpected one,
Yeah, no, I think with his character design, the poncho and everything that he had on, and I think it all worked out, and it's not. I don't know. I think that could have, if there was anything I would tweak, I probably would have tweaked the resolution to that a little bit more versus him, the wolf, just giving up because he sees he's fighting back and he's no longer scared. He just gives up. I mean, I wish there could have been like, a better resolution where he like not kills him, but like, pokes him with his sword and then he just like gets snapped. And like,
who gets snapped?
The wolf. And like just pieces of them start flying away, and that's kind of like the resolution versus the wolf just turning around and walking away, saying, I'm done with this because he got beat in a sword battle or whatever with his hooks. So I wish it would have been a more climactic, like Puss in Boots stabs him, and then he kind of looks down at it, and then he just starts like fading away, and like he just beat his fears.
Okay.
Versus the wolf just saying, you know what, forget this, you're not worth it, and then just turns around and walks away. But I mean, you got to keep this movie PG. So I mean, I don't know if stabbing death would have, and making him snap away would have raised it to a PG-13 or something.
Well, I can see how it's both because he has to when he tells him pick it up, like he tells him back, that is kind of a way, I guess, to show that he's conquered death. And then if he kills him, I mean, that you're right, that's the more visually assertive way to show it, that he's beaten death. But then by not killing him, I guess visually, then you're showing that it's not so much that he's beaten death, but that he's just stopped being afraid of it. Or like, like if you kill him, what would that mean in a fairy tale concept? That death doesn't exist anymore, that it's not something he'll have to deal with. right?
Yeah, I mean, he still has to deal with it. I mean, it's still death. I mean, he could still come back in the next movie and start pushing buttons and stuff like that. But, or like reminding him that he's like on the edge. Like every time he gets closer, like he's in a sword battle, say, and looks things aren't looking good. The wolf can reappear, and then kind of remind him. So I mean, you could still bring him back and everything. It's never that he beat death. It just I think it would have drove the point home a little bit more than the wolf just getting beat in a sword battle and then just gives up and just turns around and walks away.
What if he took Puss's main sword and scratched the last life onto it? But I mean, like, yeah, that wouldn't go as far as you're suggesting, obviously, but it could be an extra like visual marker, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, they went this route, and I'm okay with this route. I mean, it's my small tweak that I would have made.
Did you watch The Gray with Liam Neeson?
No,
It was a joke.
I know the movie, but I have not seen it.
It was a Joe Carnahan movie. I'm going to spoil the ending, but having it spoiled actually might help going in. So the whole movie, if anyone doesn't know, is Liam Neeson's with a bunch of people and they're being hunted by wolves. And slowly, as the movie goes on, each other person who's not Liam Neeson dies. And then what they filmed was he has this whole emotional journey or emotional end where he like buries himself or just prays or something like that. And then the wolves show up and he fights them. And what they realized was that the end of the movie was in the emotional moment. So they took out that final action scene and then put not a post-credit scene, but one shot of like a wolf's bloody fur and it's kind of breathing. And they were right. Like there was no emotional conclusion that could be had in the fight scene. But for me, it was disappointing because we've been building up to this entire movie. And the reason I'm mentioning it here is because that's exactly on the rewatches what big Jack Horner felt like. Like the wolf or the fight with... Oh, that's funny. I didn't even realize I was talking about fighting wolves this whole time. Fighting the death wolf in this is the emotional end. And technically, the big Jack Horner giant is not necessary if you don't like. It could be taken out if you wanted to, but it's a nice cherry on top where we see everyone at like team friendship actually working and finishing, even though the emotional arc of the story is done. And I think it was the right choice. Like I wish The Gray did that, even though it's just pretty and it's not really emotionally resonant. I think it was the right choice to have this extra scene that could have been cut out and just have him win. Endgame did it better, where the emotional moment of I am Iron Man and winning all becomes one thing. So I guess it's technically a knock against this movie that they couldn't find some way to wrap it all into one moment, but I don't mind. I'd rather have 99% than 100 or 99% and miss that 1% than go like 70% like The Gray and just like take it out.
Yeah. I mean, I can see where you're coming from when you say that. So, but I mean, I think it's pretty funny at the end of the movie, they have all the wigs on. They all have the governor's wigs back on.
You made us look ridiculous. Or something. I do that one scene. I do wish was a mid-credit scene though.
Yeah, I wish it was too. Yeah,
that's the only because it was, and I know that was meant to still feel like a mid-credit scene. I'm guessing since they showed the title, but just. I've heard enough people complain, they ended the movie and now it's not about Puss in Boots anymore. The ending. It's like, no, that should have just been a mid credits.
Yeah. I think because there was no mid credit scene, there was no ending thing. There was just one little line from Puss in Boots at the end of the movie. Oh, you're still here. And then and then it goes to the DreamWorks logo.
Yeah. The Ferris Bueller ending.
Yeah. just a lot shorter.
Honestly, I want to do that ending just to be like, oh, we're doing the Ferris Bueller end. Wait, why am I doing a Spanish accent? But at this point, when Daredevil, or no, not Daredevil, Deadpool and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish are doing the Ferris Bueller. Now the meme needs to evolve.
Yeah, we need to get beyond this, but yeah. But I mean, it still would have been funny. I still would have liked it. I would have chuckled. It would have been for the older people in the crowd versus some of the younger people.
Oh yeah, it's still great.
Because I assume the younger people probably aren't watching Deadpool 2 or Deadpool 1, whichever one that was. I think it was Deadpool 1 that was in.
It was Deadpool 1, and how dare you? The youth, of course, is
watching this rated R movie.
Yeah, it's required baby watching.
Yeah. spoon feed mushed peas and have them watch Deadpool so they grow up right.
Hey, the key to an intelligent child is playing Deadpool while they're in the womb. All right. Well, I love that we talked about Shazam and Black Adam for 2 hours.
But a better movie we talk about for a half hour.
Yeah, the lesson is I can complain about something bad for forever.
Where Puss in Boots, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the movie. It's a good rewatchable movie. I think that's probably, in my eyes, one of the most important things about a movie. The message that it gives, obviously, because you're not going to watch the movie without a good story that presents a good message. Yeah. Whatever that message may or may not be. And then the rewatchability. If I'm going to watch a movie one time and that's it, it's probably not going to get that good of a score for me. Just because, yeah, it was cool to watch one time, but there's no reason for me to buy it. There's no reason for me to rewatch it. If it was on TV, I'm going to pick something else.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. That it's a good movie. It presents a good story and a good message, and especially to kids. And then also it's a rewatchable movie that you could probably put on at any point in time. It's short enough. You can get a couple laughs in and, go about your day. It's not, Lawrence of Arabia or Ben-Hur where, yeah, it might have a good message, but you're spending 4 hours to do it.
Yeah. What's really wild to me is going back to like Shrek 2 and Puss in Boots is how different Puss's design is. Like, he is a fuzzy fella in everything else. But this one, they like sleeked him up and went more action hero.
Yeah, and at one of his lives, he's buff. He's got like big biceps and a 6-pack.
What are you talking about? Puss in Boots does not need a spotter. All right.
Hey, what is that? Like 4? I'm not so good at math. No, that is 8.
And they use the narrator from Jane the Virgin for the doctor.
Oh, did they?
Anyone who hasn't seen Jane the Virgin, I still haven't finished it, but you should check it out. I think it's on Netflix. It is perfect. Or I don't know. It's great. Do you have an idea for the next movie?
I mean, we can kind of stay on this train of 2000 or 2022 movies. We can do the menu because I think I'm going to sit down and watch that movie at some point in time today.
I've literally got to be, I think, doing a video about the menu. So if there was one, I was like, I gotta stop suggesting stuff and let Brad suggest something first, because it's always just like, well, what would you like to do? I'm down for this, and then you're like, yes, let's do that. So I want to make sure that
I made us sit down and watch almost 8 hours, or was it 7.5 hours of Indian films, watching Bahubali 1 and 2.
Again, movies I've watched before, but I'm laughing because literally when I was saying like, what should we do next, I was like, my choice would be the menu, but I gotta shut up so Brad could choose his own movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's on HBO Plus or HBO Max.
Yeah,
Discovery Plus's new baby.
Yeah.
So I'll probably end up watching that sometime today. So I mean, we can do that for next week.
Nice.
Another critically acclaimed movie of 2022.
Ironically, when Maddie had the choice to rewatch Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, she chose to watch The Menu. And then
heard good things.
Yeah, and then the next day she wanted to watch The Menu again, and she did on her own. Or maybe not the next day, but yeah, it's cool. I'm very excited.
Let's see here, because I might as well just get this tattooed on my arm because I always have to keep looking it up for. But what do you rate this movie?
This one I will go. You know what? It's been a while, and I think it really deserves it after multiple rewatches. But mushroom.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna go edibly mushroom.
Yeah,
because I think this movie fires on all cylinders for me, and I think it's right there on masterclass. Especially for animated movies, I think this is one of the best animated movies we've had in a long, long time, probably since Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I could have gone edibly mushroom, but especially after that first watch, it would have been more of an edible probably, because it seemed, I think my summary was good movie, not very deep, good magical MacGuffin thing to give us variety in the visuals, and it had just a bit enough from Spider-Verse to give it a little spice. And then since I'm like, oh no, this is much, much better. I think the one thing that is too much for me are the Goldilocks and the Three Bears puns, but if you're gonna have those characters, that's probably just me watching it 6 times and be like, we could take one of these out, but no, someone probably loves these. And I've been listening to the soundtrack. It's not some crazy soundtrack where you're gonna find everything amazing, like every track. Like you can't listen to it like the Hamilton soundtrack or the Spirited soundtrack, but the flourishes, like I loved the moment when they're running from Jack Horner and he's like, I hate magic animals or whatever, and just those boom 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 boom, like the little flourishes are really good. So yeah, I'm just gonna go full mushroom. This deserved it, especially how it works so well, even though there's an established style. Like all these previous movies established a more normal style, and they were able to evolve it without it feeling like it doesn't fit. Yeah. Like it technically doesn't. It's made itself stand out, but it feels like it's cut from the same. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, so I'm just going to go full mushroom.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to fault you on that. I think this movie was getting on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it was like a 95 or something like that on Rotten Tomatoes for the critics. Let me double check myself because I might be wrong.
Also, shout out for giving Death red eyes. Not only is that cool and pretty obvious, but with Puss in Boots having green eyes, having that dichotomy, having that difference, like perfect, perfect. And
then having Perito do it and having it not work.
So pools of innocence. It's so cute that you thought that would work.
By the way, you have blood on your nose. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what did I do to deserve this? I mean, what specifically?
So it's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes with a 95 for the critic score, 149 reviews, and an audience score of 93%, 2,500 plus reviews. So, I mean, this is solid.
I'm surprised that the audience score is a little lower.
Yeah. I mean, barely lower.
Yeah. Sounds like there's a couple sticks in mud.
Yes.
In the shape of a pea, with bears smelling it.
Yes, with 3 sticks to make the pea.
I don't. For some reason, I just want to clip that out of context and put that out into the world and let people wonder what it means.
Come check out the review where we talk about 3 sticks that form a pea.
3 sticks and a pea. That's the third one. Well, this movie may be a mushroom.
Or this movie may be an edibly mushroom.
But either way, this movie is 100% dope. I don't know.
Because
movies are dope. Leave a rating and review on Apple Podcast and or Spotify, and check out the menu before we review it. Affiliate links are down below. And follow Brad F912. Goodbye.
Goodbye now.